Alright, this is a video that has been a long time coming, and in traditional Godzilla Brawler fashion, I have not written a script, I have not exactly planned this out. All I know is that the original video, which I should be flashing a title card up for right about now, has at the time of recording this video on June 19th, 2025, gotten approximately 500 views in total, and a lot has changed in regards to this topic, I feel. So I feel like a follow-up is kind of warranted at this point. But before we get to that, if you enjoyed the video, please consider dropping a like, and if at any point a thought strikes your brain as you watch, consider dropping a comment as well. If you enjoy substantially enough, a subscription would be much appreciated. Beyond that, I would ask that you go to the link in my description and in the pinned comment to Mount Merch, my merchandise store. But if that's not really your style, then please consider becoming a channel member. If you become a G-Force Soldier, my lowest tier, you at the very least will get your username flashed up in the video, either in this part or in the outro. I haven't decided yet. Plus, you will get a unique membership badge corresponding to the amount of time that you have been a channel member. And if you join my second membership tier, for slightly more dollary dues, you get early access to all of the videos that I upload. So as soon as I complete editing a new video, once I get all of the YouTube chapters and YouTube info cards sorted out alongside the description for the video, you will get immediate access. Videos will become public on a weekly basis regardless, but your support would be greatly appreciated. Alright, I know what you guys are really here for. You wanted to watch a roster revisited video, but, and perhaps more importantly, a roster revisited video pertaining to Godzilla Save the Earth Melee, the mod project for the PCSX2 emulation platform in specific regards to the classic PlayStation 2 and Xbox three-dimensional fighter game Godzilla Save the Earth, developed by Pipeworks and published by Atari. I have covered Godzilla Save the Earth Melee super extensively at this point. The last video I recorded in regards to it was my Monster Manual update video, Show Us Some Skin. I also have an entire Godzilla Save the Earth Melee video playlist containing all of the videos that I have released in regards to the project. It's quite extensive, but I noticed right before I hit record that my initial roster prediction video was recorded on April 23rd, 2024. So it's been over a year and a lot has changed. I've learned a lot, and to be perfectly transparent, I think that prediction video was massively out of date inside of like a month. But I did create the roster revisited video sub-banner, and these two things kind of mesh together well. So I figured it was high time to return to SSB Roster Maker, created by Jakor, and reassess my choices. Well, what do you know? I've already got changes I gotta make. I made icons that have the actual in-mod names for all of these characters. It's not exactly perfect, but oh, would you look at that? Henry screwed up the layout again. My own incompetence surprises even myself. Oh yes, I want to click on the picture of Byakudo and move it. Oh, that's not what it's doing! Okay, technical snafu issue aside. This is most of the prediction that I made before. The only thing that I have cut off, or rather the things that I have cut off, are all the kaiju and monsters that I did not think would make it into the game in any form. Kaiser Ghidorah, and Des Ghidorah are both costumes for King Ghidorah now, as per the Monster Manual. So they're not technically playable because they are bipedal versions of those monsters, and they are only included as costumes. But I just wanted to mention that here because if this video is anything like the original roster prediction video, it might get a lot of views in relationship to my other video content. Alright, so let's review the obvious. As of the time of recording this video on June 19th, 2025, I was proven wrong. Mechagodzilla 1974 / Showa Mechagodzilla was not the next character we were getting. We ended up getting Zilla in the Godzilla Day presentation live stream in 2024. I'll take the L on that. I hadn't considered the fact that Zilla did win the popularity poll that was ran some significant period of time ago. So every kaiju that is in the upper half of the screen right now is officially planned for inclusion in this mod. But let's reassess the choices that I did make. And I will try to order these kind of like I do in my Shedding Tears videos, where left and up means more likely in my head. Like, I imagine characters closer to the top left of the screen are more likely. Actually, you know what? First things first, I'm gonna knock off all of the icons for characters that have either been deconfirmed or I personally have changed my opinion on. Kamacuras, I have said over and over again, I don't think Kamacuras is gonna happen. Mechanic Kong, I did an entire moveset plan video in the Idea Arena series that kind of addresses this, so I think Mechanic Kong is out.
But you can't do this to me.
When I initially made this choice, I thought the Visitor would be kind of neat because you'd have to do the Visitor, Fire Lion, and Lightning Bug all at the same time, but the Visitor has the kind of limb issue and therefore is knocked out of my prediction. Fire Lion, I should hopefully put the artwork I am thinking of on the screen at the moment. I don't think Fire Lion really deserves to be a unique playable fighter and can instead just be relegated to being a alternate costume, alternate skin for King Caesar. And considering I knocked 2 of those 3 out, I think Lightning Bug kind of just bites the bullet as a consequence of that. Here's another L. I didn't even know at the time that I recorded that original prediction that Zone Fighter was slated as a skin for Jet Jaguar within Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. So, my bad. I didn't do my research, and I paid the price for it. Now, here's one we can knock off, but it's not really a bad thing. I originally included Magma in this prediction because there was a guy in my comment section, it might have been on Twitter/X, that suggested that Magma be playable. Magma has been made into an alternate costume for Baragon. So, as a result, Magma cannot be a unique fighter. Then I have Gamera, Legion, and Iris, and I highly doubt that we will get any Gamera characters in this Godzilla-related mod. I feel like it's just asking for trouble. And Cyberzilla has not been officially revealed as a skin for Godzilla 1998 /Zilla, but I have a feeling if we're gonna see Cyberzilla at all, it's going to be as a skin for that character. If I recall correctly, I think I was just trying to fill up the spaces at a certain point. It's not like I didn't want Cyberzilla, I still do, but oh, I totally forgot. I don't think we're getting Charles Barkley, and I have discussed this at length in the past. I would do President Ogden from IDW's Godzilla Kingdom of Monsters comic instead of Charles Barkley. I also did a video on that character, so it might be in your best interest to check that out. Okay, so now I'm gonna rearrange these icons to which ones I think are most likely to come next. Monster X tied for second place with Ghidorah. Actually, you know what, now that I think about it, as of the time of recording this video, we have yet to see Showa Godzilla in a playable form. And as I have remarked a number of times in the past, I have a feeling they're going to leverage the taking flight rage move where Godzilla flies as a major part of that reveal if/when they do it. Consequently, I would not be the least bit surprised if they kind of double whammy us and have Showa Godzilla in addition to the monster that he used the flight against, which was Ghidorah. Related to that, they do apparently plan on including Godzilla's magnetism powers as an alternative rage move for the Showa version of Godzilla. So it might also make sense to do, instead of Ghidorah or alongside and in addition to Ghidorah, the Showa Mechagodzilla. Technically, the Showa Mechagodzilla ranked lower in that popularity poll than both Ghidorah and Monster X, but my running theory is that, like I said, I think Showa Godzilla is going to be revealed to us next. So I feel like it would make sense to kind of push Monster X back in that that hue. I know Zilla was the most popular, so if you go with the most basic logic, maybe you would say that Monster X deserves to go next, but I don't think there would be that much widespread hype, at least among the normie public, for such as Monster X. I didn't scroll down far enough. I forgot that Kong is also a potential candidate for a big reveal. King Goji, the 1962 Godzilla suit from King Kong vs. Godzilla, is slated to be used in the alt skin lineup for Showa Godzilla, so though I have the legendary Kong for this icon, I would not be the least bit surprised if they revealed King Kong alongside a demonstration of Showa Godzilla. I'm gonna keep bumping Monster X down because Gorosaurus may have ranked several spots below Monster X on the popularity poll, but Gorosaurus is a Showa era Godzilla kaiju, and Gorosaurus did show up in King Kong Escapes 1967, so I could totally see a world where they reveal Gorosaurus alongside King Kong. I don't want to get too pie in the sky because I know this is a fan mod project. They don't exactly have the time and or the resources to develop this stuff at a breakneck speed. I don't think we're going to get all of these monsters revealed at the same time, but if I'm resorting this prediction list, I'm going to say there's a non-zero possibility that Gorosaurus would get revealed based on what I think is likely to get shown to us next. The next one is between two tied monsters. They got the same number of votes in that poll, which you can find in the description for this video as well as all of my Godzilla Save the Earth Melee related videos. Keep demoting Monster X. Oh, I forgot. It might also make sense if they included King Caesar with Mechagodzilla. Now that I'm thinking about it, this would probably be a series of individual reveal presentations. King Caesar got 13th on that popularity poll, but I demoted Monster X again. In terms of reveal order, because I would not be the least bit surprised if the Heisei / 90s incarnation of Godzilla gets his own dedicated reveal. And similarly to how I have approached the Godzilla Showa character reveal and hypothetical presentation, I imagine Bagan could be tied into such a presentation. Though it must be said that Violante has already been confirmed as being planned, and that would be a kind of cool dual reveal. So I'm not suggesting that Bagan is a guarantee reveal alongside Heisei Godzilla, although they are planning on including the Super Godzilla transformation as Godzilla Heisei's rage move. So that might make sense if you want to show off the Godzilla Heisei character in full. Shin Godzilla, this is gonna sound strange. I have theorized for a while that they might be working on King Ghidorah and may include King Ghidorah in the next presentation that they give us. I have suggested several times that they do a Shin Ghidorah alt skin for King Ghidorah, and as of the time of recording this video, such a skin is not included in the King Ghidorah monster manual. So I can imagine a world where they reveal King Ghidorah and kind of show off the progress that they have made with the character at this point, and then use that to segue into a Shin Godzilla character reveal. Hopefully I get feedback and excitement in regards to my own personal moveset that I made for Shin Godzilla for the Idea Arena series, as I have that already drafted up and written, but I don't think that's going to happen. I imagine I'm either going to make the decision to make the Idea Arena episode before they reveal Shin Godzilla for Godzilla Save the Earth Melee, if they do at all, or I figure out a way to end this sentence because I have forgotten how to end that sentence in the middle of saying it. I think this is the time where we move Monster X to his proper position. After all of that, after all of those other monsters, I think Monster X would be next. And then I'll just reorganize this because Ebera got the last place that was not King Caesar or a monster that has been officially confirmed, such as Godzilla Legendary and Gigan Millennium / Gigan Final Wars. So as of now, that top row and Ebera is all that we can be certain of, to the extent that anything involving this project is certain. I guess next, we know Godzilla Earth has been worked on. Goji Rex said as much. And we know he's being built from the 2014/Legendary Godzilla, so maybe it would make sense to include the female Muto/the Shinomura in such a reveal. That one's really tenuous. I really doubt that will happen, but they have acknowledged that they used animations from Crystalak to make 1998 Godzilla/Zilla, so they might not be too far away from using Crystalak and adding him to Save the Earth Melee. I've talked about Showa Mogera and how they plan on doing a Land Mogera Star Falcon split mechanic for the Heisei iteration of Mogera, which is already present in the Monster Manual. But 1957 Mysterian's Showa Mogera, the inclusion of that character to me entirely hinges on that gimmick, because they already have a Showa Mogera recolor skin for Heisei Mogera. I did note that in the timeline for Godzilla Save the Earth Melee, as it stands as of the time of recording this video, the Heisei Mogera is built from the remains/the scrap from the Showa Mogera, so I don't see it as wholly impossible that they end up including that character, but I don't want to say whether they will or not with any degree of certainty. Goji Rex has said that Gabara is one of his favorites, kind of in a joking manner.
Jokingly.
Okay, so we have a bit of a dilemma here.
Yeah, I don't care much for these foreign cars either.
The top 2 rows of my prediction, I feel, are on pretty solid ground. Even though some of them did not appear in that popularity poll, for the reasons I have stated, I could see them getting included for one reason or the other. Here's the problem. That original prediction that I did, if you go back and rewatch it, I was struggling. In fact, King Godzilla from the Godzilla fan doujin manga was only included as a joke.
That's the joke.
You suck! So that is not even really a prediction. Someone said they really liked the fact that I included 1967 Yongari in my prediction. To be 100% honest, I think aside from the humans, Yongari's probably the least likely character on this entire list. Let me go through my icons again one more time, and if I see anything that might be interesting, I will point it out. But the Sinister Six from Godzilla Training Battle might be cool. I have said as much in the past. That being said, Shigan was made into an alt skin alternate costume for the Showa/1972 iteration of Gigan, so I'm not exactly sure how I would feel if they included some of the Trading Battle monsters as playable characters, but not all of them. Given that information, Bulk Zardon could probably hack it as its own playable kaiju, and I would imagine there would be some degree of influence from Matt Frank, the Kaiju Samurai's Godzilla Neo redesign of Bulk Zardon in such a case. Similarly, I think Barugaran would also be a neat fighter to include in Save the Earth Melee, but again, I don't want to go too gung-ho. More likely than not, that would never happen, but I'm operating within the number of spaces that the Nasty Soft dev team said was possible. I really don't think they would do Behemoth, but there are a lot of Monsterverse fighters, so I can see a world where they do that and include Behemoth, but that's a very, very, very flimsy prediction. It barely even deserves prediction.
Prediction? Yes, prediction.
As a title. I haven't gotten around to talking about the character yet, but I know right now it's listed as Giant Sarazawa, and I know the franchise has more history with that than what I am about to do, but I'm just going to replace him with Captain Gordon, because to me, that's basically just the giant human hand-to-hand combat fighter, so I'll talk about that more later. Actually, you know what? I do think Frankenstein is fairly likely, with Sanda and Gyra as as alt skins. It feels sacrilegious to cut Captain Gordon out of things, but I am actually going to rearrange my prediction list as a consequence of that. Yeah, I'm an Operator Naomi main. Not including this outright as a separate character prediction, but I really do wonder whether Godzilla Ultima would be able to slot onto Godzilla Earth / Godzilla Phileas. I haven't heard anything new about that, but again, Godzilla Trading Battle Sinister 6, Jirumu wouldn't be horrible. As I learned in my last prediction video, it really does get difficult to pick monsters for this. You know, I say that, I mean, I guess under that kind of light, Kamakarus kind of is one of the only options you got. I've said it before and I'll say it again, this is just a skin suggestion, but where is the anime King Ghidorah? Get on that, Nasty Soft. I've suggested Kumasagami. I really don't see Kumasagami happening. I guess the legendary Wolfman wouldn't be horrible. I mean, that fan film isn't out, but other Godzilla fan works, such as Godzilla Daikaiju Battle Royale, have included the legendary Wolfman, so it's not a total fool's errand. I've seen Manda get thrown around a lot. I don't think Manda's happening, just because there aren't enough bones for animations in the Mothra larva model / character. I just wanted to reiterate that. But remember, I'm also not a developer on Godzilla Save the Earth Melee, so what do I know? Not a whole lot. How did I not remember this guy? I'm not really sorting things at this point. Minya / Manila. Like I've said, I've come up with a moveset for him if anyone wants to hear it. Need. Returning to the Sinister 6 roster, I don't think there's anything that Rosin could slot onto as a skin, and I have expressed my love for, at the very least, the concept art of Rosin, so maybe that would work. This is a very, very highly specific and weird pick, but I don't really think it's feasible for us to expect a whole lot of crossover characters outside of skin. Kind of like how Gorgo is technically going to be playable as a skin for classic Godzilla as of the time of recording this video. I have always wanted to play Gamora from the Ultra series. In a sort of three-dimensional fighter like Godzilla Save the Earth. Toho has a knockoff Gamora from, I believe, either Go Green Man or Go God Man. Although it might be Megalo Man. I don't think it's Zone Fighter. Tsunojarasu is basically, from what I understand, the Toho Gamora. So maybe we should go with that. I'm not predicting that character, but in order to stretch to these last couple spots, it might make sense. Yeah, so I went to the last icon in my list, so I'm gonna move these around a little bit just because I feel like a character making fun of Charles Barkley might worm its way into Godzilla Save the Earth Melee. From this point forward, none of these choices do I legitimately expect in any form, costume, or playable status. I feel like Yongari and Tsunojarasu might make it in, maybe, if you really stretch it. I mean, I guess I would probably enjoy, just because I like reusing old stuff that will never get referenced or used in anything ever again, Super Mechagodzilla 2 and Mogera 2nd / Mogera 2 from, I believe, Godzilla Generations Maximum Impact. So that leaves me with only one spot left. I genuinely can't think of anything. I mean, I guess maybe Godzilla Ultima, because I feel like my hunch that anime Godzilla / anime trilogy Godzilla would have a sufficiently disparate animation skeleton, and thus Ultima would not be able to overlay on top of that incarnation of Godzilla. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, maybe they could figure something out with the Skullcrawler? I mean, maybe you could go with a character I drafted up for ID Arena, throw Giga Bowser in there, except at that point, you're dealing with copyright warfare on multiple fronts because Nintendo. Oh, I know something that will make everybody happy. How about we just plop in MS-chan, you know, as a representative for the Godzilla Brawler channel?
It'll never work.
It'll never work. They'll kill him dead in one day.
Hail to the YouTube channel! Remy, do you want to say hi to the viewers? Oh, goodness gracious, I've been recording for like an hour and 15 minutes at this point. I just wanted to kind of refresh my roster predictions for Godzilla Save the Earth Melee, because it's been so long. If we do get any new three-dimensional Godzilla fighting video games that are not this mod in specific in the future, you can pretty much just assume that I'm going to want the roster given to us by the Monster Manual for Godzilla Save the Earth Melee, and then add on my predictions on top of that. Who knows? The Gigabash developers could always get a hold of the license. We could always get a spiritual sequel to Godzilla Save the Earth, and I guess, Godzilla Unleashed. That game ain't all that. I said it, and I'm not taking it back. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, this fever dream concoction of a video. Let me know what you think down below. Consider supporting the channel in any of the various ways that I already outlined. I hope you guys enjoyed, and took it easy while you watched, and until next time, guys, I will catch you on the flip side.